Okay, so a few days ago I did maybe it was even yesterday, I don't know, time flies too fast, but I did the video on the Mexican Supreme Court and how they overturned a gay marriage ban. And then today we get the news that gay marriage is going to go to our own Supreme Court through a California court case on Proposition 8. Now I kind of want to break it down a little bit because this is exciting news, because I think it has a good chance of the court striking down the gay marriage ban, and that, sometimes when they do that with laws like that, it goes federal, and every state has to do gay marriage like they did with Lawrence v. Texas, where a bunch of states had sodomy laws and they struck them all off the books. And what I think is that this court has really shown itself. Some people will argue otherwise. It has a libertarian bent to it. Now, it's not a libertarian court, but it has a bent. They've been strong on free speech issues. Like you look at Westboro Baptist Church, that's the ultimate test of free speech, where they sued Westboro, and the Supreme Court said they have the right, to say whatever they want. Now, of course, Westboro can go to hell, but that's besides the point. They can speak wherever they want. And the court ruled in favor of that. And then, they had the campaign finance. That's, in my opinion, that's free speech. You should be able to give money to whoever you want, for purposes of saying whatever, producing videos on whatever you want. Now, they've kind of disappointed me in the past year with some of their economic rulings, like they did with the Obamacare. They disappointed me on that, but other things I think they've been strong. They've taken libertarian positions on some issues. Now, look at the court. Who do you got? You got all 9 of them. Well, you got your Thomas and your Scalia. They're going to be against it. With Scalia being such a strong Catholic, and Thomas being just who he is, very religious types. And then you got Alito on there. Alito probably will go along with Roberts and Scalia. Now, then, who else you got? Sorry, I kind of got throat's a little sore. So I got who do I want to do next? Okay, you got Roberts. Now, Roberts, he's been surprising a lot of liberals because he's coming out in favor and on some liberal social issues, and he's saying, I think Roberts, he's my favorite guy on the court. Now, they're all scumbags, but I think he's the least bad of them. Now, Roberts, you'd think he'd be in the conservative camp on this, and he'd vote against gay marriage, but I'm not so sure that he will. I think he's not the definitive swing vote, but he could vote for gay marriage easily. I could see a way that he could do it. He could rule in favor of it. I think it's going to be a 5-4 court decision, regardless of the outcome. So then you got Kennedy. Kennedy is the classic swing justice. He tends to be very progressive on the social issues. I see him voting for it in a heartbeat. I don't know how he'll vote, but I think it's likely that Kennedy will vote for passing gay marriage. And then I've just gone through, all the major conservatives. Well, who's left? You've got Sotomayor and Kagan, the Obama nominees, and then you have the all the liberal nominees they've kept on from the past few years. You got Breyer, Ginsburg, and then I'm trying to remember. I've been to a Supreme Court case where they heard all the justices were there. I always leave out one justice. So I did Alito, Roberts, Kennedy, Thomas, Breyer, Ginsburg, Sotomayor, Kagan, and then this is where I always forget the last justice. I always do this. I can name 8 of them. There's one of them I can't. I'm having a mental block. This is very embarrassing, but I'm going to continue to upload the video anyway. Alito, Thomas, Scalia, Sotomayor, Kagan, Breyer, Ginsburg, and Kennedy. Yeah, I think I did get them all. Roberts, Alito. now I'm totally losing. Roberts, Alito, Scalia, Thomas, Sotomayor, Kagan, Kennedy, Ginsburg, and Breyer. Yeah, I got them all. Okay, I'm sorry. That was very embarrassing. So I've covered all of them, and so I think it's going to be a 5-4 court split, and regardless of what happens if they strike it down, but the only people who are hardcore opposed against it are Scalia, Thomas, and Kennedy, or no, Scalia, Thomas, and possibly Alito, but it looks like it's going to come out in favor of it. So we're just going to have to wait for the case to be heard, and we'll see what happens. But I'm optimistic about it, and I hope that they will rule in favor of gay marriage and they'll strike down the ban. The specific language will ultimately determine the effects on the nation. They could just do it California specific and say we're going to rule on this here and say that's why it's legal, or they could say that it has to be implemented nationwide. You never really know, but gay marriage has always had good success in the courts. If you look at the founding fathers, the courts always had a big role to play with the separation of government, and that's why they're isolated from the people, and they're supposed to be the enlightened judges. And I think in many cases they can do a lot of good on a lot of issues. Of course you get the occasional corrupt justices, but that's how it is. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry I had a little embarrassing moment there when I couldn't remember all the justices, but it happens to the best of us.